Welcome to Centauri Stir Fry, Wild Stallions. Today, we're talking about Fantastic Four, issue number 1, and also the Sideshow Collectibles premium format, Doom, Dr. Doom. And I think 1 is underwhelming and 1 is underrated. So there you go. We got a Turbo Tuesday, a Turbo Twofer. That's what we're going to call that. First of all, I'd like to establish that it's confessional time for me. I bought 3 variant covers. We got this one, got this one, got this one. At a hefty price tag of $5.99, when I got home, I took a hot shower. I took an SOS pad. I started scrubbing my skin. It was like the crying game. I was like huddled down. I was like crying and stuff. And I think I lost like 50, 60 freckles. I mean, I think I saw them go down the drain. You know, a really sad moment. And then when I read this book, after cussing myself out a little bit, and go, "Why did you do that, you fool?" By the time I read it, I was just like, "Oh, really? That's a number? That's like such a weird." Non-issue. Like there's not a plot. The plot is like non-existent. It doesn't correlate to what was going on during Chip Zdarsky's run. It has no parallels whatsoever. It's like it's a completely different book. It's like this has been a fun ride. I think he gets the Marvel Universe. I think Chip Zdarsky gets Dr. Doom and the Thing and Human Torch. I believe Dan Slott does not. And by the time we get to the first issue, I'm just like, what happened? Here, they were stranded on Battle World, okay? And Doom and this new character named Rachna, this Hindu lady, she's like a genius. It's a really cool story. It's fun. They disappear. Thing and Human Torch, powerless on Battle World. Actually, Spidey's hunting them. Spidey, he's running the whole show. And we go from that to this, issue number 1, where I guess they're back on Earth and everything's hunky-dory. And they get their hopes up. There's like a 4 flare, it turns out to be some Yancey punks. And then spoilers, Thing proposes to Alicia. Probably the only thing I did like. It was kind of a heartfelt moment. I kind of dug it. I was falling into it. While I'm reading this, I just feel like, besides that moment, like most of it, it just doesn't feel or sound like the Thing. And there's nothing fantastical about the issue. There's nothing crazy or whimsical or adventurous or mind-bending or, nothing really happens in this book. In fact, the very last page, there's a comic strip where Dan Slott pretty much trolls himself, beating you to the punch because everything he trolled himself with that little comic strip, I kind of felt. And I feel like I'm justified. This issue, in my opinion, stunk big time. My only theory is that maybe there was an issue of Marvel 2-in-1 that Reed described how he was able to go to the Council of Reeds to solve everything. There's a device that allowed his body, kind of like the Last Starfighter, where he had a duplicate on Earth, making out with his girlfriend, doing his chores and stuff like that, picking on his brother, while he was up, fighting, the Kodan Armada, So he was able to do 2 things at once, right? So I'm assuming that's what happened here. Thing and Human Torch, the actual ones are on Battle World and in New York, watching ball games and just, collecting kitties and doing all kinds of mundane stuff. Those are like their duplicates. They're living their life, they're kind of doing their thing. So I think what's going to happen, and I'm just trying to give this issue any kind of gravitas or weight, or I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe you guys already knew this, and that's just me, I'm just dumb, that when Reed and Sue come back, they'll have to search for Johnny and the Thing. And it'll be like a fun little whoopsie. It's a twist. I think that's what's going on. I hope that's what's going on, because other than that, it was a flat issue. Now let's get to some close-ups of the Dr. Doom premium format, which is awesome. This is the 2nd edition. No one liked this, but I do. I love it. It's Doom. There you go. Take a look at it. Look at this. All right, here's the base for Dr. Doom. Kind of uneventful, kind of silly-looking base. It's actually probably the worst part about it. One of the worst bases I've ever seen. Kind of a cool thing. We got some 3/4-inch bullets down there, a little rusty, like some rain got in there. I don't know. It's a little bit of weathered. It's just kind of like, I don't know what it is. The top of a tower. This is probably like a tower where Dr. Doom likes to, create fan art statues. Probably publish zines. I'm guessing some kind of propaganda he makes. I don't know. He's probably in cahoots with the Russians. I don't know. Maybe he even broadcast InfoWars from this tower. I don't know. Maybe he makes some Blu-rays, some pirated Blu-rays. I don't know. Tears the tags off pillows. Beats me. It looks like a total medieval set of armor. This guy is at a Renaissance fair basically. Dr. Doom, that's just how it is. He's really, really smart.
This guy's super smart, so you know he's got like a suit of armor that's as good as Tony Stark's, but he likes to keep it old school. His old school medieval aesthetics that he really enjoys. I mean, the guy lives in a castle. I mean, he's probably even got an Iron Maiden down in the basement. Excellent. There's Doctor Doom. There's a really cool bell buckle. You got some ornate thing. I mean, his ornate designs there. It's like a European kind of thing. Some interweaving kind of like, I don't know, almost Nordic look to it. Look at this. He's got an extra loop there, so in case your statue loses weight, you could adjust that belt. And then he's got a ray gun here, which I see, to me, it's totally pointless. Doctor Doom does not need a ray gun. I guess it's backup. I think it's probably something he used to use back in the early days, but we're talking about Victor Von Doom here. He does not need to pack heat. He is the heat. Here's really cool. Look at the chainmail between the armor, which I think is superbly done. This is a great fist. I think it's awesome. They did a really good job on this. Flip it around there. There you go. Yeah, see that? Chainmail? Chainmailage? Looks great. The exclusive actually had that holding that pistol, so you could take that out, and the other hand would already have the pistol in the hand. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now we're up here to the clasps. I guess you can say they're clasped, these things right here. They both go in there. There's a chain. This hood is separate, and then you got to go through the cape, and it's a real pain in the ass. Like I was saying earlier, I prefer mixed media for Doctor Doom, but man, this piece kind of is a pain in the butt. I think that's why it's not very popular, because some people just can't get it posed right, and sometimes I see it and it looks horrible, and then other times it looks awesome, like when I did it. I'm just kidding. I like what I did, but I mean, it took about 6 months to get this thing right. So, yeah, mixed media can be a chore, Now we make our way to the cape here, which is crazy. I mean, that's the problem with mixed media. Everything's wired in this one, though. You have to work with it constantly. Like here in this tunic, there's wires in it you have to like mess with. The cape you have to like fold and just kind of make it work for yourself, however you like it. I mean, that's just what I did. And just moving it right there. Okay, that's just gonna drive me crazy. That took 6 weeks for me to get right, and now just for the stupid little review that sucks and no one's gonna watch, I just ruined that. And now I have to go back and work all over it again. Man, here we go. No sleep for me tonight. Great, but the cape looks great. It's made of like a really, you got one tone here and a darker tone on the inside. Pretty cool. I mean, it looks like it's pretty thick, like maybe like a light jacket. It's a really good material. It's not just some thin stuff. It actually does look pretty good. And again, you can look up here. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Okay, I'll just stop doing that. That's creepy. And here's Doctor Doom. This is like I guess a modern look, which is pretty cool. It kind of resembles maybe what the first premium format was, and it kind of looks like God Emperor Doom during Secret Wars. I mean, you could almost take all this off, and it'd be cool if you had a white version. That'd be sweet. That'd be cool. I loved that story. I know a lot of people didn't, but I liked Secret Wars a lot. Yeah, it's really cool. Not my favorite head sculpt, though. I actually like the classic. Okay, here we go. This is what it's all about right here. This statue came with 2 head sculpts. The first one was like more of a modern one. And this right here is the classic Doom. That's what this is all about. That's why it's worth buying this, because this head sculpt right here, this is classic Doom. Classic. Look at that. You got the bolts around the eyes, around the mouth. This is like your classic Man in the Iron Mask kind of thing. So you can pull back this little tunic thing here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's awesome looking. This is like straight out of Compton. I love it. I love Doctor Doom. I think he's awesome. Even as a kid, I loved the Thing and Doctor Doom for some reason. Those 2 characters, I just always liked the way they look. And I remember like getting a Secret Wars Doctor Doom action figure. I loved it. But yeah, that's going to do it just for this episode. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking it out. Do yourself a favor and wait for Fantastic Four issue number 1 to be $1 in a dollar bin, because you will find it. There's a million copies of it out there. Oh, man. Then you want to take a shower afterwards. You'll be like, I made it. I escaped scot-free. Okay, with that, thanks for stopping by. Spay new your pets. Remember, Magnew is right. We'll see you next time.